Good morning to you once again. You are looking live in Walker, courtesy of Our Lady of the Lake Sky 9, as the fog is beginning to subside a little bit out there to the east. 62 degrees out your door, and the winds aren't doing too much. That's what allowed the fog to form more readily out there, and we have very high moisture and dew points too. 65, that was our high yesterday, very close to where we should be this time of year. This morning's low, 54, well above where we should be this time of year. And here's what's left of the dense fog advisory that was originally scaled down. This one will be extended until 10 o'clock in the morning, and again, it is mainly off to the south of the I-10 and the I-12 corridor, but you could still see right along the highway, right around a quarter of a mile in Hammond, 2.5 up to the north in Macomb, and starting to rebound down to the south as well, as it looks like the fog is now a little bit more spotty and patchy. Well, of course, merely a technicality. We know that it has looked and felt like winter for quite some time, but we're going to make it official this upcoming Sunday, and what causes the seasons is the tilt, the 23.5-degree tilt along the Earth's axis. And by the way, the winter solstice happens this Sunday, and that's when the sun actually gets closer to the Earth in the December solstice than it does in June. That's not intuitive. You wouldn't think that that's the case, but it has more to do with the angle of the sun, the angle of insolation. And what we also know about Sunday and about the winter solstice, it tends to be the day, the shortest amount of daylight, or the longest night of the year in the northern hemisphere, depending on how you want to look at that. Happy holidays once again from the WAFB First Alert Weather Center. It looks like the weather will cooperate for Christmas as we get to Christmas Day on Thursday. Of course, it's not going to feel like Christmas, but it is going to be a nice day with a mixture of sun and clouds and a warm high of 75 degrees. Actually, we have a lot of warm days ahead, and here we go. We got a cold front moving into Louisiana now. The first rain shield kind of missed us completely, and now a lot of these showers are breaking apart and fizzling out. This cold front was never expected to be a big rainmaker, and it really doesn't look like that'll be the deal. The front's still back to the west by about 1, maybe 200 miles, and it will move our way and get through the area late this afternoon going into early evening hours. So let's see what the HRRR wants to do with it. It looks like we get a nice lull, a nice break in the action, and then we'll get a couple of these showers moving in late in the afternoon. Here comes the cold front as we get to 7 p.m., and then it's going to sweep on out of here and get all the moisture out of here well before midnight. So the rain chances will linger into early evening, and then they'll go away for a couple of days. Look at the huge drop-off between the dew points today and tomorrow. We're not going to get as significant of a cool down as the one that we had earlier this week, but nevertheless, Friday will be a cooler day. As for the rain amounts that we're expecting, nothing spectacular. And again, this isn't just taking into account the next 24 hours, but over the next 7 days, barely anything, maybe a trace to less than 1/4 of an inch. For today, it's going to warm up quite a bit, up to 77, so you won't even need the jacket for today, and we're going to leave that 30% chance. Otherwise, we'll call it partly sunny skies. Then for tonight, we're going to leave the chance of rain only for the early evening hours. Then by 10 p.m., it goes away because the front will take it away, and we're going to cool down pretty significantly, down to 44 degrees for the overnight low. We have one day where we're going to be in the 60s for highs, and that's going to be tomorrow. By the way, tomorrow is going to be a beautiful day. Get out and enjoy. And then we're living in the 70s for the foreseeable future, going right beyond the Christmas holiday.